I'm 100 metres from the finish line of a marathon, and you're telling me not to go for it. What's the worst thing that could happen?
Hello and welcome to the T-Zone, and the one who is coming today is the head of Vodafone Ireland. It gives me a greatest pleasure to introduce to you Anne O'Leary. Come on in, Anne. Thank you for joining us today. This show is one of two hats because it is a lot about, as women, how we go about our daily life. But I think what I loved is you gave a talk at this event at the beginning about what Vodafone was doing. And I thought that's amazing. And I don't know enough about what companies aren't doing and are doing. But even hearing it as a naive person, as with a startup, you think less of those things. And when you've got, how many employees does Vodafone have?
Well, we have 3,000 employees in Ireland.
Yeah,
so really just trying to ensure we get the best employees and that we do great business. And I think we all know diversity and inclusion and gender diversity is really important to be a successful business. Because I want our employee base to reflect our customer base.
Yep.
And more women are making decisions in the home, whether
Yes.
it's about their mobile phone or their broadband or their TV. So we want to reflect that customer base.
I kind of feel maybe publicly they're making those decisions now. But bill paying traditionally years ago might have been a male thing, but actually the choosing. You know, I know many wives who do not have a job outside of the home, their work is at home, making all those decisions and the man signing the bill.
So I think that's correct.
Yeah.
But I think you probably had more men doing the marketing or branding or making decisions, and they mightn't have been the best decision. And I think the proof has shown that businesses with diverse boards and management teams get better business results.
Yeah, and you're against in this because I think what's very interesting and what has woken up traditional businesses, especially in Ireland, there's Facebook, there's Snapchat, there's LinkedIn, there's all these very modern companies coming in and competing for employees on with traditional businesses. So you had mentioned some of the things you do, but I found them amazing. I have to say, sorry, that's Lily barking in the background, my dog, uncontrollable. But it's the one that really broke my heart is the amount of domestic abuse that still happens in Ireland and what you do for that. But will you just tell me a bit, because I find that an amazing thing you're doing.
So we have many policies. We have a world-class maternity leave policy, more recently a paternity leave policy. But one of the societal issues that was going on, and it is in a lot of countries, that 1 in 5 women are affected by domestic abuse or domestic violence. And if you think about that,
that's unbelievably
1 in
high,
5, that they'll have something in their lives, you know, and be affected. So we brought in a policy where people can get 10 days fully paid leave, access to professional counselling, advances in salary, and support to set up their own bank account. We also trained all our managers in Vodafone on domestic abuse. We got Women's Aid in to talk about the signs like coercive control, etc. So people are more aware early on, before it gets to violence, what's going on in a relationship. And I think as a leader, I think all of us in business have a responsibility to raise some of those societal issues, to use our position for good.
Okay, I'm going to go from what is, I think it's amazing what you're doing there, to a really trivial side, but a side that lots of people who actually watch the T-Zone and other things. It's about how we dress at work as women and how we maintain a sense of a strong identity about who we are. You have incredible confidence in your dressing to just be, I mean, quite a lot of black, you're Irish, you love black. But how hard is it? Like, you know, in your company, is there a policy if somebody wears quite bright colour, extreme things? You know, what is the policy of dressing and what do you think it should be?
Well, I think years ago I wore trouser suits because I was often the only woman.
Yeah.
So I had my Thomas Pink shirt and my cufflinks.
Yes.
So I was young and I didn't want to be feminine or to stand out, which is really quite sad.
I know, I did the same in commodity trading. I know exactly.
Because you just wanted to be known for your job and your output and not how you looked.
Yeah.
But the world has changed now. It's all about bring your whole self to work, who you are, and us as business to accept that. Colour for me is really important. I like when I wake up in the morning, colour gives me confidence, kind of makes me more optimistic, and I like that. Also, it's very good for photographs, and I get a lot of photographs. You stand out if you're with a lot of men in suits. I've always liked clothes, and I suppose some people do, some people don't. I love fashion. When I see a dress, I say, see it, like it, buy it. and I'll figure out the occasion later.
This is a very confident shopper. I mean, super confident shopper. Having spoken to so many women, Anne, that many women feel they don't have the right perhaps to say they should care, but they do. How can we encourage women in the workplace? Because you encourage them in so many really important levels, but I want to encourage them to express themselves as the woman they are and not feel they should be constrained by fitting in with the vestiges. Do you notice, let's say you've got a meeting with lots of people and one or two of them you could be responsible for promoting them. Let's say they both have an equal CV, they're both equally good at their job, but one you notice more because of how she dresses. How important is that to you?
Well, I think we have to be careful with
I
biases
know,
and making
but I
things.
just want to
But
know
what
that.
I do
Just
say to
answering
people,
from your heart.
yeah, what I do say to people, you want to make life easier for yourself, so you have to be comfortable in what you wear.
Yeah.
And people make assumptions about you within the first few minutes.
Yes.
So if you want to make an impact, and you want people to have positive thoughts, how you look is important, so you should think about that. Now, what you wear is quite personal for people, so I try not to be prescriptive on that. I like dresses because they're easy. You put them over or zip them up.
And she has a great pair of legs. Very easy.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
No, you
but
do.
it's just. But I do think the natural human beings makes assumptions about people, and you want every advantage if you're going for that job interview. But I'd encourage people just be themselves, but think about being comfortable. What makes you feel more comfortable and confident?
Yeah.
So
do you think that filters down?
Oh,
then?
I think
you
so.
Do.
I think so.
Does it? So therefore, because there's a female leader at Vodafone, does it give more permission?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
to be more feminine, to wear colours.
You've got some things here. So there's like skincare routine. All right.
Yeah.
So how important is skincare routine to you?
It's it's fairly important, but I'm not any expert. I mean, I just use what I use and it works for me.
Okay.
So I have very dry skin.
Yeah.
So I like this exfoliating cleanser.
Yeah.
With a face flannel that I use every night and kind of scrub my skin.
And this is the Dr. Obaji, who then started a new range, which is called, what's it called again? Zoe or something.
Zoe Skin Health.
Yeah, Zoe Skin Health. It says Beverly Hills here now, but it is. I think he was the guy who was Dr. Obaji.
I think he was.
Yeah, and you've used the same things for a long time?
These now about 2 years.
Okay.
And then a scrub every week just to get rid of the dead skin.
Yeah.
Because I like my face to feel natural and smooth and not dry. And then I've used this for years. Again, I think I just don't have it. I just don't have time. That's one
the thing. This is interesting because these are all quite old friends when I look at these ranges. So I'm interested as to, you're not reading the magazine yesterday as to what the newest thing is or looking through your Instagram.
I don't have time. I'm not, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I find this very moisturising because,
Yeah.
again, I go swimming and afterwards I like to put on really moisturising
daywear.
Daywear. And then at night I use the Clarins, and again I feel it's thick and heavy and really moisturising.
Okay.
I'm sure I'm not an expert.
No,
and
this
then
is
my factor 50 when I'm out on the bike and running
All right.
and cycling, and this is really important because I don't want the harsh wind.
Yeah.
Not so much the sun in Ireland, but I like to protect my skin.
Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 52.
So 52, minimal skincare routine but investment in products, great dressing. I think the very interesting thing is how healthy you are and how important that is to you, because you do a lot of shit, don't you?
I used to do triathlons, so I did an awful lot. So
When you were still head of Vodafone?
Oh,
I mean, at the beginning of your time head of Vodafone?
Yes,
okay.
I've been, but the last few years I don't race so much. I used to race a lot, like a half Ironman at the start of the summer, half Ironman at the end, and about 10 races in the middle. It was a bit nuts. So now I try to exercise every day.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen with work and travel. So I end up getting 5 days. I like to run on a Saturday morning outside in the air and maybe do yoga, and then I like to go out on my bike on a Sunday. It makes me feel good, just the air and looking at the water. So it's not just physical well-being but mental well-being. This morning I woke up in Richmond and I went and I did 10k run around Richmond Park. So that was going to set me up today for you.
But this is like when you hit 50, I think the most important thing for any woman is energy.
I know how I feel after. So it's a bit like you have to go in, face your day, face people, face issues, and I'm at my best if I've exercised first. I don't necessarily want to go when I fall out of bed, but I think about afterwards, and I think again when you get older, you really feel the benefits of it. and it helps you eat better and sleep better.
Yeah.
Which is really important, and sleep is a big thing with me. I like to get 7 or 8 hours sleep.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted, I'm sure, like you. At the end of the day, you're like, my bed. So I think they're important.
I want to do some of this now. How do you make yourself feel better if you're having a bad day?
Again, I think a little bit of meditation.
But you'll do it at the office, or you
at
do
the
it?
office?
You will.
Usually, yeah.
Will
just
you go in a loo? Do you have a loo near
we
you
have an
that's yours?
area. We have a wellness area and a gym in the office.
Yeah.
So we invest a lot in mental and physical well-being of our people.
Okay.
So on site, there are classes, and there's a kind of a room you can go in and lie down and get some time out.
We want to work there, don't we?
Yeah.
We want to move to Ireland and we want to work for Vodafone.
We'll allow you. We'll be delighted to have you.
Did they have any of this before you joined?
Not so much, really. It's been something when we did up our offices a few years ago, I asked them to put in a gym. Again, because what I was hearing from a lot of women was, the kids, I'm getting to work in the morning, I have to get home, I don't have time during the day. And I said, well, there's a gym down there, you can go on your bike for 30 minutes or go to a class. And we do a lot on nutrition. We have a very good canteen, healthy food, and just talking about looking after yourself. And I say that to women. I think if you don't look after yourself, you can't really look after everyone else.
Yeah.
And often women put themselves last between being a wife, a mother, a business person, and that can often come together at a bad time.
Tell me the worst gender equality time you had in your life.
I think what was an interesting one is when I went I was in Vodafone 12 years, and 7 years ago the CEO of Ireland came up as the job. And up to then, everyone had been really encouraging about taking the next step and doing. But when I spoke to people about this opportunity, 80% said to me, are you mad? Why would you go for that job? That's horrendous. That'll be really stressful. That'll be whatever. And I couldn't understand, and then I learned what it was, and it's called benevolent bias. It's like when people care about you, instead of helping you, they're holding you back.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, if you think about the boy or the girl going to sport on a Saturday morning, you have 2 7-year-olds, and it's lashing rain outside, which it is in Ireland, and someone says to the girl, it's too wet, don't bother going, but they send the boy out. And they're being kind, and they think it's nice, but actually that boy and girl needs to go out in the rain, play sport, be resilient, and they'll feel so much better. So I think it was really obvious to me there was something going on, and I said, I'm 100 metres from the finish line of a marathon, and you're telling me not to go for it. What's the worst thing that could happen? I'll go into the role and I won't do well, but I'll have learned.
Telling you this?
All friends, family, people I asked. Work colleagues. A lot, and it's the best job I've ever had. It was the best thing I ever did, and I don't think people would have said it to a man. They said, go for it, Trinny, you'll do great, and sure, if you fail it doesn't matter. What's the worst thing that can happen? You'll go into the role, maybe it doesn't suit, or maybe it's too much, but the higher up you go, the more influence and power you have to make changes, the more you can delegate, the more you can surround yourself with a great team. So I think that was a real eye-opener for me.
These are quick fire silly questions, but it just brings every woman to a level of silliness, which we just occasionally like. I would do this with anyone. We should have men on the show, but this is Women's Month. Would you rather have the ability to time travel or to stop time?
Time travel.
Why? Why do you?
I just like to be able to jump in and go anywhere and do anything. I think that'd be exciting.
Stop time, it's like, what would I be stopping it
exactly.
for? Yeah,
no.
I agree, because we're both quite manic either. Would you rather invent something new or discover something new? Oh, that's the same. Invent something new or discover.
I'd love to invent something new, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But I think you need to be open to discover new things all the time. So I would be more saying curiosity, being open to what's out there and ideas, and discovering and learning.
Would you rather look old but feel young or look young but feel old?
Oh God, that's hard. I'd like to look young, but I'm never going to feel old if I look young, because I'll just keep training and exercising and trying to be, well, fit and healthy is the word, really.
But you can't change the question. Okay.
See the way I just did that?
I know you did. Okay.
I feel young. I mean, as I get old, I want to have energy and feel young and be positive and make the most of my life. So I suppose looking old and feeling young is the answer then, if I have to pick one.
Because if I look at women who are like that for me, like, an example in a trivial one, Iris Apfel. I don't judge her by how her age is. I'm mesmerised by her vitality.
Yes.
So I think I don't judge women on how old they look. I judge women on how old they sound.
That's a great quote. That's great.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right. Vitality, optimism, appreciating life, appreciating that we're healthy. That's
Yeah.
what I feel. And, you know, fit, healthy, look as good as you can.
Okay.
With nice products.
All right.
Maybe I need to update the products
Maybe
a bit.
I can
but
take you
that's
into
okay.
the library in a minute. And I hate to do this to you because I've had this done to me and I really hate it. But it's just like a little, what you set yourself by. On your gravestone, what would you like to have written about yourself?
I think I would like it said that she made a difference, that she used her platform for good, and that I
Is
was
this turning
kind.
into a mausoleum?
Kind and empathetic. Small writing.
Okay.
5 to 6.
10 minutes now. You've really made a difference to me,
Ah.
just listening and taking on board things you said. So thank you so much. Give it up for Anne!